What is going on, everybody? Depraved Slasher, and we are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are...
Hella Depraved.
Yes, we are. It's been a while since we've reacted to Elijah Kyle's work. It's been a while.
Yeah, that kind of worked. Not really, but it kind of worked.
It was terrible.
Yeah. It was awful.
Terrible. Now, honestly, I probably could really sing that.
Right.
But I'm trying not to be really fucking loud. So, I done screwed up the 2-minute thing.
Oh, well. We're trying, guys. Yeah. Shucks.
So,
gosh darn it.
It has been a while since we've actually done an actual reaction
to
an Elijah Kyle track.
Yeah.
So...
we got a lot of people to get through.
Yeah, there's a lot of people to get through. And we love Kyle.
Very much so.
Very talented. Very, very talented. Really good at what he does. So I kind of feel bad that we don't cover more of his stuff on basic reactions.
But he is so prolific.
But again, doing 3 reactions a day, we got to kind of spread the wealth a little bit.
Right.
So we're here. Now, we do typically react to new Elijah Kyle songs on our live streams on Sundays, so be sure to check those out. Also, be sure to check out this Saturday, where we will be tearing up artists, and Elijah Kyle is on that list.
For this Saturday, yeah.
The first one on the
list for this Saturday. Okay. Next 8, alphabetically.
So where are we putting Elijah Kyle? Show up Saturday.
See which song we react to for him, too.
Yes. Well, we're not reacting.
Just play for you to react to.
Right. So, with that being said, this is called Bucket List.
All right. Heard good things about it already.
I have too. Now, granted, Nico has nothing but good things to say about anything Elijah Kyle does.
That is very true. He's also not normally wrong.
Also true.
So, there is that.
I don't know. He's wrong to me sometimes. I swear the dude's panties that he threw at me changes designs every
I know.
week.
It becomes more and more complicated.
Inside joke if you weren't there for...
Unicorn.
What reaction was that we did that on?
Oh, I don't even remember. It was like 3 weeks
Falling
ago.
in Reverse
4 weeks
was
ago.
the conversation.
Oh, was it alone?
It might have been.
Anyways,
we've digressed. So, without
that's normal.
Further ado, this is Elijah Kyle.
Much ado about nothing.
With Bucket List. We're going to slash it up and break it down. Please remember, if you were watching this reaction, and this is your first time at the channel, we react to this expecting you to have already heard the song. So there will be pauses, probably a lot more than what you're hoping for. It kind of differs from track to track, depending on our feeling, on when we feel like we got to say something.
Yep.
We've been told we pause too much. So
it's a breakdown channel.
If you're not into pausing,
the link's below.
You might want to pause the video now and go find something else to do.
Links below if you want to hear it in its entirety without pauses.
So with that being said, let's get it. Let's get it.
I like that.
Yeah. You know what this sounds like?
It came to you and then it kind of didn't.
I'm trying to remember the artist's name. The singing comedian that we listened to when we were at rallies.
Stephen Lynch.
Stephen Lynch, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Stephen Lynch has an entire album that every 3 to 4 songs he has a short 45 to 50-second long song. And it's usually a short poem that he's rapping, or not rapping, he's singing in the place of somebody famous that has passed away in a really fucked up way. And he mentions their name at the end of the thing. It's all Dear Diary, is what the tracks are called. It's Dear Diary 1, 2, 3, and 4. This beat, the way it's going, sounds like...
because he plays acoustically for his sets.
Okay. But it almost sounds exactly chord-wise like it.
Like the Dear Diary, okay.
So, now I'm going to have to go listen to that at some point within the next couple of days.
Get it out of your head.
Oh, no. It'll be firmly implanted in there.
Get it out of your head? The temporary? Yeah.
Yeah. My whole life I was scared to be human. Whole life I was scared of my own self. Had no self-esteem, low self-worth. Most days my own head's like a jail cell. Such a beautiful mess at the madness room. On the dark side, searching for an empty home. Where the pain don't exist and the love don't too. Everything that I touch breaks down to the bone, breaks down to the core. So there's nothing left. Try to be a good person, clean up your mess. But I'm left with a tornado when it's torn hard in a hole inside of my chest. Always try to please everyone but myself. All your selfish ways enable this hell. I'm a sink in the water, but I wish you well. Throw a coin for my freedom, but I fight myself.
That was a fucking bar.
Which one? There were several.
Soaring hard in a hole inside of my chest. Always try to please everyone but myself. All your selfish ways enable this hell. I'm a sink in the water, but I wish you well.
I'm a sink in the water, but I wish you well. Because,
Wells
water.
and water.
But then he goes on to say something about flipping a coin.
Wishing well.
Throw a coin for my freedom, but I fight myself. Always fight myself, yeah.
That scheme was nice. I love the meaning or message behind the song, too.
I feel like he didn't take a breath that entire time. Like, I'm somewhat jealous. Being
How many
a smoker.
punch-ins do you do, Kyle?
However,
No,
I agree, like...
The punch-ins, that was a joke.
The whole... yeah, the whole message behind this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true for a lot of us. There's a lot of relatability here. The whole, like, you're the one that brought about all of this.
Well, so in this way I can relate to the song 100% in that he talks about always trying to please everyone but himself.
Mm-hmm.
And when especially if you're with somebody, when you're spending so much time trying to please them and they spend so much time basically not giving a shit.
Right. Or being selfish, not realizing that
it can
they
leave
don't give
you
a shit.
feeling
Empty.
Like I've said before, I don't know if I've said it in a reaction before, but I know I've said it somewhere before. For me, emotionally, the only thing worse than feeling alone, more specifically if you've been in a loving relationship before, the only thing worse than feeling alone is being with somebody and still feeling alone.
Yeah, you said it there was a country singer, female, beautiful song. And this was before I moved here. And it was something like lonely or together but lonely. So the title actually has something in that, and it was something that my mom had also said to me when she was talking to me about my divorce and the whole, like, the worst feeling is that loneliness, and deciding if being alone is better than being lonely.
Right.
And I think it is, personally. But I've definitely, I don't know about the whole, I'm not necessarily a consummate people pleaser. I am in, like, my friendships and romantic relationships. I'm not necessarily when it comes to other people. My sister is a huge people pleaser, or at least she grew up that way. She wanted to please everyone, and it didn't matter how close they were to her. So she has learned, she's in her mid-30s now, thank God. So she's not running herself ragged all the time. But I'm definitely like that in romantic relationships the most. But I've been in the position where he just ended that scheme, where it was, you brought me to this level of hell, and now, like, I wish you well, go on your way, but, like, I can't live like this anymore.
Right. I definitely feel like everybody at some point, some way sooner than others, hits a point in their life where they realize they can't please everyone.
Right.
Because I used to, when I was younger, early to mid-20s, I was very much wanted to make everyone around me happy, regardless of if I knew them or not.
It's an improbability.
And it just eventually gets to the point where you got to realize any action you do is going to piss somebody off.
Somebody is not going to be happy, yeah.
You can be one of the nicest people in the world. Somebody that's just an angry person is going to hate you for it.
Right.
Or vice versa. You can just be having a bad day, and there's going to be a nice person that's going to dislike your attitude.
Right.
You're never going to be able to make everyone happy 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But you can piss everyone off 100% of the time.
That's easy.
Yeah. No.
I've always been enough of an introvert that, like, my circle and, you know, whoever I'm dating, it's really small.
Right.
So those are the people that I care about, and I learned over time that the friends that have stuck with me that are true friends are the ones that know that you're still their friend if you're having a bad day, or
Right.
if you guys disagree on something, or, you know, I mean, they're still your friend.
Right.
And they continue on. But I've been in enough relationships where, you know, I finally just closed the door.
Right.
But I wish you well. Throw a coin for my freedom, but I fight myself. Always fight myself. Yeah. Shit, we all got demons. True. Every life has meaning. Yeah. But many can deceive us. Maybe that's the reason why I'm feeling defeated. Like I'm never enough. Although I tell myself every day I'm a human being. Always give my all, never get shit back, but that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I feel good being told that I help others with their pain. Yeah. If I can save everyone but myself, then I'm okay. Yeah. Even when I'm lost, the love in my heart forever stays. Yeah. You can't be scared of being great. Hold my hand, we'll be okay. I tell myself every day, if I'm not perfect, I'm a waste. Manic paranoia state of mind is often foggy. If I ever make some millions, I'ma give it to the family. Cause without the ones who raised me, I would never be the man I am. Shooting for the stars and honestly hope that I never land. Even when I'm down, I know the truth is I was
Shooting
Shoot
for the stars.
and hope he never lands.
Hope I never land. It's
Go
also a
Peter.
Peter Pan reference.
Second star to the left. Straight
Or
on
Michael
till morning.
Jackson reference. I mean,
Well, yeah. But I'm really enjoying the sing flow too.
Me
Like,
too.
obviously he has a great voice, and I enjoy it when it gets into that
Right.
kind of bag. But this message is, it's just so relevant. There's not like a huge amount to say.
I mean, we go through it even now
Yeah.
with the whole YouTube thing. You know how many people in the last week to week and a half have been like, oh, you've paused it at the wrong time, or you paused too much, or you guys talk too much, or you guys aren't funny. And it's like, you know what? I would rather be myself and her be herself, and us have less than
Right.
3,000 people follow us than have 10 million people and be just as basic as every fucking body else.
Right. And that's not a shots fired thing. That's just, again, you can't please everybody
Exactly.
100% of the time. And I like him.
I'm going to say it is kind of a shots fired for me.
Okay.
Because so many of these reaction channels go out and try to imitate what others are doing.
Well.
And I'm not
okay.
taking direct shots at anyone specifically. I'm not sitting here and being like, oh, this person, this
Right,
person, this
right.
person, this person.
That's what I meant.
But in just a generalized statement, there are so many reaction channels out there that are so similar.
Right. Well,
Like, so many people get
Again,
into it and
you
they're like,
see
we're
the-
trying to emulate.
you see the feedback in our channel, and you can see how come they kind of follow that route. And look, I get the whole emulate the model that works. I get it. Or, you know, the one that you respect in terms of like what turned you on to wanting to be a YouTube reactor. But you still have to be yourself.
Right.
But
And that's what I've done. I have, me personally, the people that got me into reacting was script work.
right, which is a breakdown
And
channel.
they're a breakdown channel. Every single one of their videos is 20 to 40 minutes long.
Right.
Unless it's a short song, then it's like 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
But that's who I've tried to emulate the most. But I've also tried to, more so especially since you started with me, inject just more of ourselves into it.
Right.
The goofiness, the jokes, I
But
want
also,
people.
we like to talk about relevant topics,
Right.
Whether it's us personally that it's applicable to, or societal awareness, or whatever. Like, but that's also how we are by ourselves when we listen to new music. That's who we are, and that's what we're.
And for those of you, I swear, for those of you that have been like, I've actually had people be like, do you pause it this much on your first listen outside of reacting? Yes, I do.
I have to go back.
Like,
I'm like, did I really just hear what I just heard? You know?
Me and my brother, when Eminem would drop a new album back when I was a kid, we would go out and get it.
Right.
And him and I would sit together with our
lyric
book.
I loved those booklets.
Well, they didn't all have lyrics, but
no,
Eminem's
didn't,
did.
But
Eminem's did. But because
when I started reading them, they all had those fucking books.
Right. Well, I'm saying they had the books, but not everyone had the lyrics in them.
When I started, they did.
Oh. Hip hop has not always been like that. But we would both get our own copies of the album. Usually, I would give him the money to buy it for me because I wasn't old enough.
Explicit lyrics.
And we would both go home together and sit down in front of a radio next to each other with our books, reading the lyrics. And either one of us at any given time would pause it, rewind it, and listen again because we were like, did he really just say that?
Right.
Like, and this is with all music.
Right.
Chances are, if I didn't pause or back up to re-listen to something, your song didn't get listened to again.
So for me, I will say, and this is not appropriate for a reaction channel because to me, I wouldn't watch. I don't watch the channels that just listen to the whole song because that's boring to me. I've already listened to the song normally once through, but personally, when I hear a new song, I normally listen to it all the way through once. And then I will back it up and I will listen to that song, depending on how good it is, obviously, on repeat for, it could be all day, depending on the complexity of it. But that's when I will stop and start, and I had my booklet out the whole time anyway. But I normally would listen, but that's not what we're going to do on a reaction video. No. Like I said, I wouldn't watch those.
I wouldn't either.
But I also liked how he was talking about the responses that he gets that tell him that he helped somebody else through. Mostly, I'm sure, with his music, but also he seems like the type of friend as well that will take your calls late, who is willing to sit there and talk stuff through with you, help you out. But his music, I'm sure, I know it's touched a lot of people and help them through. And him saying that he's willing to sacrifice himself if he is helping other people. And having studied psychology and wanting to go into PTSD, CPTSD trauma therapy as a career choice, I am the phone call psychologist for my entire group of friends, including my parents. So
I've pretty much always been that for my friends as well.
So, I mean, I do understand what he's saying, and also that kind of, I mean, I've achieved a balance at this point, but basing your self-worth on how much you are able to help the people around you. So, I mean...
Well, and that's something I've said about my channel from the very beginning. Like, I started off gaming. Strictly gaming, and then started getting into the reactions, and I really didn't start picking up traction until I started doing the reactions, which is why I just do reactions on my channel now. I very rarely game. But for me, it's always been, if I can help make one person's day better,
if we make
by
you laugh,
having something out or by doing a live stream, that's enough to keep me wanting to do this. I've never been here for the money,
the subscribers,
the view count. Like, as long as I'm helping just one person,
having 6-7 people come into our lives and tell us that thanks for the entertainment, like that we didn't even realize it had been 4 hours. You know, this was the most. I had a bad day, and this was exactly what I needed.
I had a bad day.
That's to me the greatest compliment you could give. But I do understand needing to kind of find that balance between giving too much of your energy away, like self-sacrificing in order to help the people around you, and also still
Ones who raised me, I would never be the man I am. Shooting for the stars and honestly hope that I'll never land. Even when I'm down, I know the truth is I was made for this. Crossing out the things I will obtain upon my bucket list. Shit, we all got demons. Every life has meaning, but many can't deceive us. Maybe that's the reason why I'm feeling defeated. Like I'm never enough, although I tell myself every day I'm a human being. Always give my all, never get shit back, but that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I feel good being told that I help others with their pain. If
I really like the instrumental.
As do I.
Yeah.
I like the song, period.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that just the instrumental is pleasing. That was great.
I wanted to be angry at his writing of bucket list at the top of the fucking picture because it looks like it's spelled Lyst.
Or LYT.
But it does say List.
Yes, it does. That's cursive, baby. Although, technically...
The only letter I can never remember how to write in cursive is usually, I want to say it was either capital J or capital Z.
Well, and that's also going to depend on what style of cursive you were taught.
Normal? There's styles to this thing?
There's styles.
Fuck you, calligraphy majors.
I was not a calligraphy major, people.
That wasn't directed to you.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding anyways. No, we're not going to get into that. No, really enjoyable though. And
that was a great track.
Great track. I love the message behind it. It got us to have longer conversations than we probably meant to. Which is what I like out of my music, to be honest. I like to be able to have conversations.
I like it to be a discussion piece.
Right.
And Elijah Kyle normally does not fail with that. Also, like I said, I loved the instrumental, the beat that he picked. We really liked his flow, you know, and also the fact that he switched it up with a little bit of his own singing.
Right.
So we got both of that, and his lyrics are always great. He uses great mix of metaphors and real life, just facts and so on and so forth. So.
And if Elijah wants to know what we feel like his cons are, please tune in next week or this Saturday, as
2 days from now.
It'll be 1 day from now by the time they watch this.
Yeah, but I mean, the only thing that I can say to this is I really hope that he is taking the time for himself.
Fuck no, he's not. Do you know how many times this dude has been like, all right, guys, I'm taking a week off Twitter.
I know,
I'm going to relax. And then like 3 hours later, he's like, yeah, so I'm back. I didn't really go anywhere.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about recharging. And if for him that means expelling emotions through writing and producing his music, then that's what he's got to do. But I hope that instead of just like giving and giving and giving until he's
I'm pretty sure he's working on his like 7th album this year.
Yeah, but that's still like, if that
exaggeration, not by much, but an exaggeration.
If that is what helps balance and heal him, then that's fucking fine. Let him do his own thing. Not everyone just has to be lazy like me. All right, we loved it. I'm sorry, we digressed.
Yes,
like
that is going to do it. We love y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and we cannot wait to see you Depraved People later.
Push our buttons down
Peace.
below.